We all know there were a set of FAANG companies, and then the Magnificent Seven stocks. Now they tell me there's something called as Mango. But in today's Exfinos GCC Talent Podcast, I want to focus on the context of FAANG companies in India. But having mentioned Magnificent Seven and Mango, I want to speak a little about what it means. Mango is easy for all of us in today's world to remember. Mango stands for Microsoft, Anthropic, NVIDIA, Google, and OpenAI. The Magnificent Seven stocks, as they used to call them, were again a mix of similar companies, which is Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla. So with that out of the way, let's come back to the FAANG companies. Over the last 12 months, FAANG companies have been in news for different reasons, but one definite news that always has been cropping up is how much they have laid off. If you put together all the press announcements so far, it comes out to about 25,000 people that they laid off. But then if you carefully look at the number of people they've employed via H-1B in US, I'm just taking the H-1B numbers, there was about 10,900 people they employed. That means they got foreign nationals with the H-1B route to US and recruited them. And the interesting part in that is 1 in 5 in that were Indians. The other part is about 6,000 FAANG companies, employees were also laid off. That's what we kept reading, right? Like I mentioned, 25,000 totally laid off. There's about 6,000 people moved out of FAANG companies out of USA. And 1 in 4 of them came to India. So with that, let's come to India and the FAANG context of India. So let's say pre-COVID, 2020, these FAANG companies in India employed about 104,000 people, 104,000 people. And how much do they have today in India? 216,000. 216,000 people they employ in India. So over the last 5 years, they have really ramped up their headcount in India. Where did it start? If you look at where it started, if you leave out 2021, 2 years where we were all trying to come back from COVID, post-vaccination, 2022 is when they hit the inflection point. 37,000 FTEs were hired in 2022. And we know then what happened. We thought that was overhiring. It's a bit of a correction. So 2023, just about 10,000 got added in India. And when I talk about this, I'm talking about net addition, not the replacement of attrition. So the subsequent year, 2024, it got better. 23,000 people were hired by the FAANG companies in India. And last year, 2025, 31,000 net additions. So over the last 5 years, they've almost doubled the headcount in India. That's what it means, from 104,000 to 216,000. So almost from 1 lakh to 216,000 they moved. So that's a massive movement for FAANG companies, especially the bar they set for whom they want to hire, right? So that's one part. But having said that, we also talked about replacement hiring. What does it mean? We always thought nobody leaves FAANG companies. They do. 16 to 20% is an average attrition, depending on whom you're talking about and which year you're looking at them. So we know what's happening in India right now. Greenfield GCs are coming. Existing GCs are sort of becoming more ambitious in whom they want to hire. They want to hire from product companies. They want to build their own platforms. So with that, there is a lot of talent which is moving from FAANG companies, product companies to GCCs. In fact, even services companies. One services company which went public recently hired last year 32 senior people from FAANG companies. So it's no longer the truth that people don't want to leave FAANG. For a good opportunity, people are leaving them. So if you look at just last year, 2025, the FAANG companies overall hired 65,000 people. But the net additions were 31,000, so minus attrition. So that's the hiring activity. We talk about 2,000 offers being made in a day with GCCs. FAANG companies hired 65,000. It's just 5 companies, remember. And at any given time, the vacancies, the number of open jobs with the FAANG companies are between 3,000 to 5,000. On an average, let's say 4,000 jobs. Which are the cities? Bangalore leads them. Open jobs, when I looked at 2 weeks ago, 1,000 jobs are open in Bengaluru alone, followed by Hyderabad. No surprises there, right? Then what about the functions? Tech, obviously, 52% of the roles they hire are in technology and about 48% in non-tech. So 48% in non-tech, you may ask. These companies traditionally have looked at function to be ahead of them and then hired the technology roles which followed them. So that's why the split of 40 and 52. If you always thought they were all tech, they aren't. What about AI with all the noise on AI? So amongst these 5,000 openings that we see, about one-fourth are AI openings followed by data science. So what are we understanding from the action here? So if this continues, the number of jobs that are open and they continue to hire in the same intensity as these job openings indicate, means that this year we're looking at about a 25 to 30,000 addition again among FAANG companies. So that's the positive side. People are leaving FAANG companies. FAANG companies are hiring again. Net additions are happening. So in terms of hiring, FAANG companies are up there along with GCCs, which possibly are making up in terms of volumes. But I think the niche hiring category to which the FAANG companies belong continue to hire. So thank you for tuning again to Exino's GCC Talent Podcast. Till we meet again, bye-bye.